Welcome to Intentional Health. Today we're introducing our blog category on metabolic health and how it affects hormones. If you ever wonder why one diet works for one person but doesn't work for you, it's because everyone's metabolism and hormones are working differently. In this video, we will discuss tips and technology that can help you optimize your metabolism and hormones. So, Chitty, why should we care about our metabolism? You hear, and everyone hears, that as you age, your metabolism slows down. Is that true, or do we just have to accept this fate, or is there something we can do to change this?
Absolutely. So, metabolism is a topic near and dear to my heart because, as you know, I practice a lot of Ayurveda. And Ayurveda, there's a saying that food that is metabolized properly becomes nutrition and foundation of health, versus food that is not metabolized properly becomes toxic and becomes a root cause of disease. So, food is the same, but your destiny, what happens to that food, is completely reliant on your metabolism. So it makes sense not just to hyper focus on our diets, but actually prioritize looking at our metabolism. And as you mentioned, Julie, all of our metabolisms are different. Some people have fast, some people have slow metabolisms, and they are always changing. This is one thing people don't realize is that our metabolism and our hormones are always changing. And we all remember those days back in college when you're in your 20s, you eat whatever you want, you stay up late, nothing happens to you, right? You wake up the next day as fresh as ever. But as you go into your 30s, 40s, and 50s, our body is just different, right? The food that we eat now, even when we eat less or optimize our health and our lifestyle, we still struggle sometimes with things like fatigue, that weight, energy levels, right? So there's so many things that affect our metabolism and our hormones. But what I really focus on is customizing it to what your metabolism is doing right now. One way to do it is using the best of technology and best of Eastern medicine. So, for technology perspective, I love using a continuous glucose monitor that gives you a window into your unique metabolism. Based on the data, you can actually tell what factors are changing your metabolism. So, I always talk about 7 things that affect your metabolism, and food is just one of them. It's not just what you eat, it's how you eat, when you don't eat. Also, sleep, exercise, stress, all the usual players, they all factor into your metabolism. And your hormones are always changing. So it's not about, fighting the hormones, right? It's just that's what's going to happen. But the key when it comes to health and longevity is how you adapt to this changing metabolism and changing hormones to optimize your well being. It's not about never aging, it's about aging appropriately and by still maintaining your vitality. Vitality is not something that needs to go down with age. You can maintain it, preserve it, and you do that by optimizing your metabolism and understanding and balancing your hormones. So, Western medicine gives you CGM and technology to actually see how, when you're eating, what factors out of the 7 is affecting you the most. And hormones, we can also look at by advanced testing and also understanding that changing diet, lifestyle, stress levels, and investing in a physical fitness routine from early on can help you maintain your hormones in a healthy state for years to come. So it's hormones and metabolism are all about maintaining vitality. Yes, it can help you lose weight, maintain your energy levels, and give you that ageless look, but it's so much more than that. We all want to thrive with vitality. And that's the reason where we're talking about metabolism and hormones, not just for right now, but for years to come.
Great. Yeah. And I just had a question for you. So I was wondering if you could get a little bit more specific, like with your experience with continuous glucose monitors. I know you use them with a lot of patients and clients. I know you designed a group class about that. So could you give us some examples of like what someone might find with a continuous glucose monitor and how
Absolutely.
might
Or
that
I can tell
change?
you what I found, and maybe you can explain that to
All
me.
right. Oh yeah. Let's do that.
Yeah. Okay. So, a lot of times, okay, I know what meals cause my glucose to spike out of range. Okay. So that's not a surprise. But what about even if I was in range, I would see these big dips. So there'd be dips and then rises, dips and rises. What does that mean when my glucose drops and then goes up? Even if I'm in range, is that bad? Is that something? I know we're supposed to keep our glucose stable. So can you tell me a little bit more about how that affects my metabolism and my hormones?
Absolutely. That's what I call the metabolic roller coaster. right? So it's great that you're able to see that with the CGM, but a lot of times we can definitely feel it even if we can't see it, right? So we have
Mm-hmm.
all experienced when we get these hunger pangs and we just want to eat the first thing that comes our way. And even after we eat, all of a sudden we get an energy crash and then we want food again. And also, when we're stressed and looking for food in those situations, we're not looking for a kale salad, right? We want that Snickers bar. So, a lot of times we blame ourselves saying, hey, I just have no discipline, no self control. But it's not you, it's actually your metabolism. It's your insulin levels going up and down, your blood sugar levels going up and down. And that will directly affect how you feel energetically and also your emotions. Sometimes things like anxiety, poor sleep is often related to these big swings in blood sugar. So, by understanding how that affects us, we can change it. So now you can experiment with different foods, different timings of your meals, different intermittent fasting window to see what's going to help you balance your blood sugar the best. And it's different for everyone. And I often use this example that was eye opening for me. So, in general, I'm trying to eat healthy and trying to eat less carbs, as we all are, and I would avoid white rice. It was like, white rice is supposed to be bad, right? Lots of carbs. So, when I was wearing the monitor, I experimented, and what I found was when I eat white rice with some vegetables, my blood sugar actually did not spike that much. And something else I was doing instead of rice, I said, okay, I'll do healthy carbs in the form of I would air fry these sweet potato fries with olive oil, rosemary, delicious. And I was eating them all the time, thinking they're a healthier option. What I recognized was that when I was eating those air fried sweet potatoes, it was spiking my blood sugar more than when I ate a chocolate chip cookie. I never would have known that if I didn't wear the monitor. And my sister, my husband, they were all eating the same foods, but how their blood sugar responded was completely different than mine. This is why a diet works for one person and doesn't work for someone else. It is so customized. And wearing the CGM is just one way of understanding how your body's responding to different foods. And what's healthy for one person is not necessarily healthy for you. So it's all about reframing the question, what is truly healthy? Instead of that, all the fad diets, let's figure out a diet that works for you. The other example I always use is Eastern medicine. So if I was to eat a diet that's based on my Eastern medicine or Ayurvedic constitution or something we call doshas, that also match perfectly with what my CGM data was telling me. So I identify myself with something called Vata dosha, and Vata dosha folks don't do so well with starches. That's what I realized, that when I eat starches, my blood sugar's all over the place. It's going to give me a lot more GI discomfort. It's going to cause big fluctuations in my energy level. So that's not a good first fit for me. So this is the perfect example where we see the Eastern wisdom and Western technology coming together to really customize our health journey. So everything we're talking about when it comes to metabolism or hormones, it's about understanding your unique physiology and adjusting the diet and lifestyle accordingly because you'll get much better results that way. You don't have to follow a single diet anymore.
I want to piggyback on that because when I did CGM, I noticed that there were little hacks,
Yeah.
right? So if I wanted to enjoy a pasta meal and I didn't want to think about, oh God, I ate pasta, whatever, I would just walk right after and my blood sugar wouldn't spike. So you can still have this balance. Yeah, I'm not saying to go eat pasta, lunch and dinner every day, but it was just sort of nice to see that I could enjoy it and still have no major negative effect that day on my overall metabolism.
That's a great point because as we always tell everyone when it comes to intentional health is not about perfection, it is about balance. So I always tell people about my annual pilgrimage to Italy where I go every year, my husband and I, and we eat all the pasta we can, we drink all the wine we can, right? Because it's about balance. We enjoy those things, we're not going to give those up. But what I do is balance that out based on going on a detox after I come back. So on a regular basis, real life scenarios, there's going to be birthday parties, there's going to be holiday parties, there's going to be events, or there are going to be those sad, stressful days where you just want to end with a tub of ice cream, right? Life happens. But there are hacks to get around that. So throughout this journey, understanding your metabolism, we'll talk about 7 things that affect the metabolism. And not all 7 things affect someone equally. For me, It's about sleep. If I don't get enough sleep, my blood sugar, metabolism are all over the place. And the second thing is how fast I eat. That affects me more than whether I exercise or how much protein I'm eating or anything else. So my goal is for people to understand what affects them the most and prioritize those things. It's not about never eating a cake or pizza. It's about being, smart and understanding how to balance that out. So what I would suggest is if you're eating that pizza, start with a big kale salad or arugula salad, or have like a lentil soup or a chicken soup first, some protein, some fiber first before you eat your carbs. So we'll talk a lot about these real life hacks that make it easy for you to live your life, but also always stay in control of your metabolism. That's what it's all about. It's not about perfection. It's about balance. Some of these tips, the technology, the wisdom, all of this is there for you to customize your unique health journey.